Sony PlayStation 5. What can I say? What can you do when you're exposed to something glorious, something absolutely incredible, something that contains a custom RDNA 2 as an architecture, 16 gigabytes of memory, a custom made by Sony, of course, 825 gigabyte solid state drive. Oh my god, it has an expandable fucking slot of storage. It even has an external storage for fucking HDD support. A 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray drive. What am I supposed to say to this shit? What am I supposed to say? I am completely at a loss of fucking words. I need to do something to let off some steam after this introduction. Give me a second. Cut to intro, cut to intro! Let's talk about the PlayStation 5. So, honestly, first thing I wanted to start with when it comes to this specific console device is the fact that I do enjoy video games. Let's start from that. Video games are cool. Video games are dope as fuck. They're fun. They make me want to not masturbate, I swear to God. But, I will say this. When it comes to specific types of entertainment, there aren't many things that can rival the pure bliss of getting into a fucking video game that you love and just losing yourself. The PlayStation 4 was dope. I have to admit, it was pretty fucking cool. But I waited a long freaking time to buy that thing. A really long time. You see, I'm a cheap bastard, so when it comes to actually buying stuff, I feel as if, especially with consoles, mind you, it's always best to wait a little bit before you actually buy something. There's a reason why all of my friends' PS4, and I'm talking like as soon as it dropped, all of my friends' PS4 was something I considered basically a dust collector, if anything. You couldn't buy any fucking games for the thing. It was frustrating. All they had was fucking sports games and maybe a shooter. And by shooter I mean fucking Call of Duty, because we know we got that off the fucking wazoo. What I wanted to talk about more specifically here is my reaction to this console. I feel as if, first of all, it's worth talking about the size of the thing. It's an absolute unit. And once Sony spoke about the, let's say, ventilation required for the thing, I honestly thought, well, it makes sense. You have to remember, I mean, Xbox is cool and all, but does Xbox have a game that turns the console into a fucking jet engine? We've all seen what happened with The Last of Us 2. Come on, let's be real. But that's not the only reason. The other reason I feel as if it's important to honestly figure out what is cool about the PS4 is the games. And during this presentation, well, it's been a long time since the presentation, so I've had a little bit of time to, process the idea. But I think that the presentation was really cool because they focused on what should be the first thing to focus on. The friggin' games. And that's what they did. So kudos to Sony for actually showing up with something for once, because honestly, if they were going to show up with fucking Knack 3, then I probably wouldn't have even considered buying a PS5. But this thing, aside from the fact that there are going to be two versions, which I am not mad at all, I feel as if it's the right thing to do. It's the right move. You see, I do like my PS4, but the PS4 is honestly something that reached its full potential years after its release. I bought a PS4 Pro for a good price 2 years ago, and I bought a bunch of must-have games that I needed under the $100 mark. So it was something that was worth the investment. The thing is, I am probably going to do the same with the PS5. I don't see the point of purchasing it if it's going to be something that will cost so much money that the investment I made for the PS4 becomes irrelevant all of a sudden. I need something that I can just put in my living room, in my office, whatever, plug it in, and use it to play games with for years. And not to mention the fact that it's really important to avoid buying consoles as soon as they drop like the friggin' plague. We all know what happened with the Red Ring of Death. We do not want that anymore. And you could say the same to a certain extent to the Nintendo Switch. They haven't updated the console aside from the CPU thing that makes the battery last about 2 hours longer, but nobody knew about the Nintendo Switch's problems with the Joy-Cons until 6 months as a minimum after release. As for the price, I don't know. The price, I don't think they're willing to make the same exact mistake they made years ago with the $599 PS3, the George Foreman fucking grill. But I will say this: I want to know how Demon's Souls Remastered is going to look like. I want to know how dope some of the other games that they will be developing for the PS5 are going to be, and maybe, just maybe a couple of years down the line, maybe my interest could be piqued. But as it stands, I'm completely content with my PS4 Pro. I don't play video games that much. I have a job, I have a life. So, all things considered, I don't see any reason into just sitting here and talking about how dope the PS5 is going to be. I'm just going to wait. And I honestly want to also know if Xbox is going to be coming out swinging as well. So that is more or less a full summation of my thoughts regarding this, PS5 presentation. I think it's promising. I think it's going to be something that I will obviously buy down the line for a decent enough price, obviously. But, I still don't know anything about the price. I have no clue if they're going to reveal it today or tomorrow, who knows. As the time of recording, I still have no clue. I suspect it's going to be between the 400 range for the regular PS5 and the 500 range for the one with this slot. In regards to which one to buy, I don't know. Physically speaking, I think the slimmer, the more V-looking one looks sexier. But guess there's nothing else I can add except thank you for following my meandering ass all throughout this video. Hopefully this video is not going to get copyright nuked with all the trailers I've been using. And that's it. See you in the next one.